Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends, fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. This week's musical artist is the Deftones. They were brought to you by our special Patreon guest, Trey.
Greetings from the Hot Carling Academy.
I'm your host, Jason, and as always, we have Tim.
Greetings from the George Carlin Academy.
And the Wild Bill.
We're just going to take all that and shove it over there.
And we're talking Around the Fur. If you missed the first one in our history with the band, go back, check the We Are a Playlist link channel, hit the link down below, and hit that thumbs up while you're down there. We need all the help we can get. All right. I gotta start pre-recording that stuff, so I ain't gotta say it every video.
I mean, that would, yeah, it's a great idea.
You gotta do that YouTube hustle, You gotta say all that crap.
Exactly. We could put some work into it.
Yeah. Because we work hard around here.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be able to just have Tim spontaneously do the intro.
That's true.
We'll all film one.
Okay, start. God. Next, when we do White Pony, Trey's going to do the intro.
Perfect.
All right.
I like it.
Around the Fur. Who wants to start this one off? Let's see. Tim started last time, right? Bill, you go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I'll start this one. So, right off the bat, we're starting with Shove It, which, My Own Summer. Definitely should just go by Shove It. Very reminiscent of Bored, but I can actually hear the vocals coming through a little bit now.
That was a single.
Almost can make out what they're saying. Labia, is it okay? Is it labia or is it?
Well, no, I think it's what you think it is.
It's probably labia.
Okay. I didn't want to say it and then have it be wrong. So yeah, labia was all right. Mascara, Around the Fur might be my highlight of the album. I mean, then going to this backside, I don't know. The drums went away from the first album. It sounded quieter isn't the word. I mean, cleaned up really isn't either though. I mean, it is cleaned up, but it's also more, I want to say compartmentalized. They actually hear each part more distinctly, which I guess would just be cleaned up then from that aspect. Granted, it could just be the versions that I was hearing for all of these. I mean, he sounded more droning on a lot of these songs than he did on the first album. Like first album, he sounded angry. This one, he sounds kind of not remorseful, but sad. I'll just say sad. Sad. He's sad. Then he's excited.
Sad boy.
Yeah. That being said, it wasn't a step forward, nor was it a step backward. This felt like it was a step. It was a progression from the last album, but a progression and almost a lateral move for me when I was listening to it. Which could be drastically wrong, but I know when I listened to I finished up listening to Adrenaline. I finished cleaning my oven. Then I hit play on it when I went to go defrost my freezer and clean that guy out. And I mean, maybe I just liked, cleaning out my freezer more. But some of the stuff going on with Around the Fur was a little bit better. And yeah, I mean, the oven, the drums was a nice beat to scrub, the walls too. So
come on, man. Come on.
They both had their times and the purposes. What?
Come on. Now you're just trying to copy Tim with his Home Depot thing.
No, this is literally
what
I was doing.
What doing. No, I see you.
Jason, this is literally what I'll go show you my
Our generation had a word for that. It was poser.
I don't know. I literally just, this is what I was doing while listening to this album.
All right, let's see.
I don't see Tim's renovated a house.
Let's see how far you can take this.
Well, considering White Pony is going to be when I was at work, so or at the office, I should say.
So what you're saying is you didn't give these albums the proper attention. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't say that. So I listened to all of them 2 times.
Okay.
Doing better than me.
I don't even want to tell
So
you.
what did I miss,
All right,
Jason?
all right, Trey, you go next.
Oh, Trey? Okay.
Okay, so this for the highlights for me on this album are Labia, Mascara, Rickets, Die the Flu, and MX. My Own Summer and Be Quiet and Drive, I've heard them so many times that they're background noise. I was actually listening to the album today and I didn't even realize I heard them. Like I looked at the track listing, I'm like, oh shit, I've already heard that. There's a running theme starting with this album until Saturday Night Wrist. Chino was in a really shitty relationship, and in this album, I believe it's Mascara that encapsulates that. Where at the end, where he's basically bitching about a woman, and at the end, he's like, "It's too bad I'm married to you." This sets up a theme that'll run for the next 4 albums.
Yep.
Rickets is a song I've always wanted to see live. I've seen them 5 times. I've never seen it.
So that's the deep cut fan favorite, huh?
It's mine. I don't know about everyone else's.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love those. Yeah.
It's
Doesn't
definitely
matter.
mine.
That perfect.
So, and another thing this album kind of sets up for a while is guest appearances. You get Max Cavalera on Head Up from Soulfly and Sepultura. On MX, you have Annalyn Cunningham, which is Abe Cunningham's wife. She actually had to be kind of twisted into doing that. She didn't want to. Eventually, she caved. There was a really weird thing because they were on Madonna's label a few years ago where people assumed it was Madonna. I don't understand that. My assumption is the streaming generation, because they don't have access to liner notes, they just assume crazy shit. And that was one of those things. This album, though, because of MX, sets up why I hate hidden tracks. I really like MX. I love that song, but I cannot put it on any playlist because it's 37 minutes long.
Yeah.
And 20 minutes of it is nothing. Bong hit is a totally stupid thing where they just hit a bong. I will say Damone, I think, is one of those songs where if they let it boil a little bit longer, it could have fit on the 4th album a lot better. So overall, it's another nostalgia album for me, but I think it's a stronger album than the last one, which ruins my
Well,
ranking.
we're not ranking it yet.
Exactly.
I'll
fuck
follow.
it.
I'll follow that up. My Own Summer, while I think Board's a better opening track, this one don't really fuck around either. Labia, it's okay. Some of the vocal melodies feel a little forced. I do like the chorus, though.
Not to interrupt, but what I wanted to say about Labia was I think it's Bored. It's the same song if you look at the topic, but I think it does it better.
I think I like Bored better. Like I like that.
I'm sorry. I'm just taking
it's
all
a
of
horse
this out of
apiece.
context.
Yeah, I know. Mascara, but there's something about her, long shady eyes. I'm all about her shade tonight. This one gets pretty fucking dark, but it's kind of sweet at the same time, but still pretty dark. Around the title track, chorus hits hard. Ricketts sounds a little toolish on it. Again, the chorus is really good. Be Quiet, Drive Away. It's a classic top song contender. I'm surprised that Bill didn't know that one. I guess they don't play that anymore, but they played the fuck out of that back in 97, 98.
Well, they finally had a bigger hit.
Yeah. I think this is where they shine the brightest, not when it's like some whispering Tool vocals. Lotion's probably my favorite on the album. This would be my Ricket, I guess. I like when Chino goes hard. It's very similar to Be Quiet, but that's okay. Favorite line, the thing is, I don't give enough jacks to give a fuck. You're just plain boring and you bore me asleep. The Flu, really good lyrics. Timing is everything in the bed because you'll sleep for hours to keep away. Badass and outro, it's a good one. Head Up, I was going to ask, did Max get the name for Soulfly from this? Because both those albums came out at the same time, and he says Soulfly in this song.
Well, yeah, either he got it from this or he was already promoting what he already had.
Yeah, it's. I never knew that. Those albums came out the same year.
Well, and it could be a thing too where, I mean, this is still early enough where people are really talking about the Sepultura split.
Oh yeah, that was huge news. I wasn't even a fan of Sepultura, and I knew about that shit.
Yeah, so he could just be out here being like, "No, this is the new.
Yeah,
and that's part of my knock against that song is it feels like it's just promoting Soulfly sometimes.
And Soulfly sucks. Not a fan.
Well, yeah, not a fan. I definitely chose Sepultura in that battleground, and I will say that Soulfly does get better. Some of their later albums are actually pretty good. But yeah, like their 90s stuff, it was way too derivative.
They're like Monster Magnet to me. I can't remember the song that they had, but I remember it pissed me off and I hated it.
Well, Monster Magnet's much better than Soulfly.
What was Soulfly's hit single? What was their first single? I'd have to look it up. If I went to Spotify right now, it'd be the #1 song.
I just felt like it was Max chasing that new metal sound.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
exactly what it was.
All right.
And Sepultura go into a much more rhythmic, dark place. Yeah, you can make a lot of arguments where that is kind of a defining moment in heavy music moving forward.
Choose your side.
Yeah, and both sides definitely had
we'll get to that.
Zingers. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. We'll get to that. MX, I love the back and female vocals on it. They come in all the right places. It's a great one. Bong Hit. Sorry, let's go back. You can blame Spotify for not, because you go try to listen to Dookie. They have All By Myself separated out as its own track. So you blame Spotify for that 37 minutes. They could have separated out Bong Hit and Damone.
Well, technically, you have to blame whoever owns the licensing because they will allow you to cut up the hidden tracks. Well, if she owns it.
But with this, even Adrenaline, if you Spotify, they have Fist separate.
Right. Yeah. Fist is separate, but not these two.
This is not separate. And I remember trying to make a mixed CD with this album and being so fucking pissed by this stupid bullshit. So I hate hidden tracks because of this one album.
Well, I don't think it's all hidden tracks. A lot of them separated out now in the digital
age. but you'll notice some don't, and it is up to the artist.
I hate it. The only thing dumber was Korn starting a CD with 13 blank tracks.
Yeah, that was stupid. And then having to skip to track 99 to hear the actual song.
Yeah.
I was always pissed off at the 0 tracks.
Yeah, less than Jake.
Get a special CD player that could rewind.
Yeah,
the only 0 track I liked was the X-Files soundtrack.
Right, but Songs for the Deaf has one too. But
yeah, they do.
All right, Bong Hit. You got 2 hidden tracks. You got your jokey Bong Hit song, and then you got Damone. Like Fist, to me, that's the real closing track, and I think it's one of the best songs on the album. So, Bill, what you got? Oh, no, you already went. Tim, what you got for Around
Yeah,
the
I think
Fur?
I'm the last one here. Yeah, this was the album that I did hear at the time, and it didn't grab me at the time. I probably would had an interest because Max Cavalera was on there. Um, My Own Summer, Shove It, whatever you want to call it. I do recall that song, and it's fine. There's nothing great about it. It's it's like a song I would hear back in the day. It's a song I hear now. It's like I can hear it and not be mad at it, but it's not going to make me run out and like search out the album or anything else they're doing. And then Labia, it's got like a real proto, like we're about to become new metal feel for me. It really feels like they're kind of heading that direction, which 97, I get it. And then Mascara and Around the Fur. I don't really have anything for Ricketts. It's like at this point we're what, 5 songs deep. They're all already starting to sound the same to me. We're still very much maintaining the loud, soft dynamics of the first album. And then Be Quiet and Drive, Far Away. It's another single. Definitely heard it before, much like My Own Summer. It's fine. I might even say it's the better of the singles. And then I get to Lotion, and I'm thinking, okay, like so far, this is probably the best song I've heard. So I got to mark this as the top song contender
You
because
son of a bitch.
because I know this is like a big album, and this is the first song on here that's really kind of going like, okay, it's not for me, but I can see where it's good. And then Die the Flow, it's like, okay, nothing really there. And then Head Up comes up, and I'm like, man, this guitar sounds awesome. And so I look it up, and oh, okay, this is a song with Max Cavalera. And yeah, so far it's like the highlight of the album for me, top song contender. I think that everything here sounds different enough from the album and a half I've already listened to. Where like this is the first time they're even trying something different. And I like it. It's not the best. It is very much, Max Cavalera is moving into new metal. The riff he brings isn't very complicated at all. Um, Deftones aren't really doing much yet either. They're still very much on we've got like a riff and it's okay. And we're just going to beat it to death in this song. Um, but anyway, I liked Head Up a lot. And then MX, it's like, okay, it's this is where I really feel like they've kind of perfected that Deftone sound. Like, whether you like it or not, they have a signature sound to them where if you point to a song and be like, that's what they sound like, MX might be it. Um, the female vocals felt pointless and out of place. They were kind of jarring. But otherwise, that was like a pretty good song. Bong Hit is exactly what you think it is. And then we get to Damone, which is very much in the Deftones formula, but they push it up a couple BPMs. And I like this. It works here. So it makes me wonder, like, okay, have the first two albums then just too slow? Because there's not a lot of energy on these first two albums. And this is really the first time where they kind of pick it up a little bit, and it really works for me. So Damone, top song contender. It's I was surprised that they buried it at the end of a 40-minute hidden track thing. Um, yeah, it's one of those albums now where we're coming up on 30 years since its release. I remember hearing it, not really grabbing onto it when it came out. Probably 98 is probably when I heard it.
That's when I heard it, yeah.
Yeah. And And so listening to it in 2025, it's not like super cringy. Like it didn't age poorly, but I don't think it was very good to begin with. The guitars sound a lot better on this album, production wise, but I'm still not quite there with the binary riffs. The bass sounds a lot better on this album. The drums, I notice like part of my problem with the loud soft dynamic they do is every time they get to the loud part, it ends up being the same drum beat.
I cannot argue what you said about 2025 versus 97. I can't argue that. I kind of agree.
It's interesting because, especially when we get to the next album, I think Chino's lyrics could easily be viewed as misogynistic, except he does a very good job painting that this is an abusive relationship on both.
Well, okay, but then just based on that statement alone, the fact that he's having to disguise his abuse as abuse.
I mean, think about that Queens of the Stone Age trilogy. It's a lot like the Adrenaline or Around the Fur to Saturday Night. It's about the same thing lyrically.
Yeah, sure.
Like
sure.
he's talked about mascara when labia. I don't remember. One of them, which was about his
Same
wife.
thing.
He talked about when he wrote it and he played it for her, he wanted some sort of response, and she gave no response. And that just pissed him off even more. And I think one thing he does is he does a really good job showing that this is a mutually fucked up relationship. Whereas, like Nickelback, it's just pure misogyny.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that, response.
There's back and forth abuse,
Yeah.
like on these records.
Yeah.
But even having said that, like this is not the healthiest approach.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, he's trying to communicate to her through music, which I don't know her. I don't know her story, but it could be something she gives no fucks about whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm guessing she's not a musician.
Yeah. She probably doesn't care. Like, especially at this point, it's just this little thing he does on the side.
Right.
So.
Right. Get a real job. Yeah.
Are you going to go practice with those two tones tonight?
Yeah. Oh, God, you're going to come home late again, aren't you?
You're going to be
you're
drunk.
Gonna smell like cigarettes and alcohol.
And he's just like, mascara. It's so far away.
He's like, no, but listen to this. It's my heart. And she's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, it'd be like that.
And then he plays her bong hit.
Yeah, right. We're going to close the album with it, babe.
Don't you like it?
And see, Tim, you're a drummer, so it's interesting to hear you talk about the drumming, because one of my favorite things about the band is Abe Cunningham's drumming.
Well, and it's tight. Like he's doing, like he's got it. He's got what he does down.
One of his.
It's not the drum, especially these first two albums. It's not what he's playing. It's the sound of the drum. I don't know if it's the production, but I really like the sound of the drums on the first two.
They sound a lot better than what I'm hearing out of a performance. Now, are they bad performances? Absolutely not. But I'm hearing a lot of the same fills. I'm hearing a lot of the same transitions. And then, when we get to the heavy part, the guitar kind of opens up into just open power chords, working the box.
Yeah.
And so the drums just kind of end up boom tapping it on a
there's a later album.
It's like,
there's a later album where I had to go to Wikipedia to check to see if maybe they swapped drummers, because I was like, holy shit, these drums are like doing shit. It was the same guy though, so he does pop off later.
He does stretch out eventually here, but these first couple albums you can hear where he's I don't know if it's just what he thinks that these songs are calling for, or what these riffs are talking to him about, or I mean, I'm not in the band room with them when they're writing the songs.
honestly, and we'll talk about it, but I think these first two albums, there was an inspiration from the scene versus what they actually enjoyed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
does. And in 97, that does not scream of credibility.
No.
And I know that, personally in 97, I was looking for a lot of credibility.
Now,
And
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I
yeah,
was a little late to that. I was a little younger, more impressionable. I didn't start looking for credibility until a couple years after that.
sure.
At this point, the only thing I was worried about was whether I could skate to it.
Yeah, see, and 97 is when I started going to college for music. And so I'm being exposed to a whole bunch of different things. I've already been in a working band playing punk rock shows.
No, you
for
were
a
in
couple of
fucking high
years.
school, bitch.
I was,
97, you were in high
I was
school.
also doing this on the side,
But he was also
I've
listening to
been playing
Bitches
shows
Brew.
since I was 15,
97 is the year I moved to Daphne, and that's
He
the
was
year I
listening-
met you.
Yeah,
was listening
and I had
to
already
Bitches Brew.
played, I'd already been on the front page of the
Well, yeah,
paper
you
and
were
on
already
TV
on
playing
yeah,
in bands and
you were
stuff,
already in
and
bands. You were the
yeah.
cool kid. I remember. We're like, oh, there goes Tim. He's a rock star. We
Yeah,
used to
right.
we looked up to your. Once your generation left, man, that high school went to shit.
Well, yeah, I saw that one coming.
You guys
Because
held
they
the
built that
torch.
second wing.
Yeah. Hey, man, it was a good smoking spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless Triome could see you from across the field, he was good.
I was. I think we were eating lunch by that second snack bar for a while too.
Yep. All right, Trey, it's your pick. You're the Patreon member. Who gets to guess first?
I'm gonna let Tim do this one.
Ooh, right on.
Man,
Okay.
Gave him the easy one. Okay.
Well, okay. Yeah, I think Jason's gonna go with Adrenaline. So this will be number 2.
You are correct, sir.
Okay.
I love the anger and the energy on Adrenaline.
I think Trey's gonna go opposite though. I think he's gonna like this one more.
Correct.
Okay. Wild Bill's got me stumped though.
No, his is easy too.
First
Is
album.
he going first album bias?
Nope.
You don't think so, huh?
I don't think so. I think he's going around the fur number 1.
Okay, so
bonehead-
then,
That
so then
bonehead
final
sent him over the
answer.
top.
Jason's the only one without this at number 1.
Is he correct, Bill? Am I correct?
You're right for me. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Bill loves that hit.
I got that first album bias right now.
Okay.
I got the goddamn vinyl.
I knew someone would have it. And I guess that counts. Yeah. That kind of gives it away.
I don't have Around the Fur on vinyl, but I'd get it on vinyl. We'll get to Is It Art. Stick around for that.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
We may have a fucking Ivy in the mist here, guys.
And this is it?
Well, we might have 2 tonight, recording wise.
Oh, we're not going to get to it. Oh, I want to get to Art so bad.
Art's going to be a good one.
We'll get there.
It's going to be a good one.
Before that, though, stick around. White Pony is next, which artwork's going to be good on that one, too. As always, what, Bill?
Be safe and good decisions make.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.